Welcome everyone. We finally have the Bloodbowl 2020 released, and we obviously have our own copies of the box and various other goodies. We will be starting with a review and a discussion of the rules. We've obviously been leafing through it, and we want to guide you through the major changes and our thoughts on how this will affect play for both casual, league and tournament play. With me is Jean.
Hi there.
And we are hosted on both our channels on Twitch.
That's correct. It's been a very busy day. As you can see, we have already set up our teams and have a bit of a light color applied in preparation for the game we will be hosting later on after going through a bit through the rule book between Black Orcs with Griff Oberwald and the Black Orcs with Varag, the most famous Black Orc of all. I've really enjoyed going through. In general, I think it's a very good feeling with this new season.
Yes, it seems that they have really done their best. Games Workshop has really done their best to try and fix what Bloodbowl needs to have fixed, if anything.
Correct.
No game is perfect, so any changes can result in things getting better or things getting worse. I think overall, from what I've seen, that this is a very positive change.
Correct. I think Bloodbowl never has been expected to be a balanced game. However, it is fun enough that you always stand a chance to win without ever having always lost the chance to win the game at all. So you always have a fighting chance, whatever team that you're playing, without it being. They have, I think, removed and hit the mark on controlling what used to wildly go wrong in the games.
Yes, that is very true. I particularly like the minute changes, and I think we can start discussing the changes. And I would begin with the biggest change of them all, to the profile of the players.
Yes.
The biggest change, which I believe everyone in the community is now aware of, is the addition of the passing ability. No longer is passing dependent on agility. Now you have the passing ability skill.
It is specifically.
Yes, I was going to ask you, what are your thoughts on this? My own view is that it will help balance out high agility teams by maybe reducing their passing game.
Indeed, and it also gives teams such as teams which have had a thrower all along, make that thrower viable. Previously, all that thrower has been used for is having sure hands.
Yes.
So now it is more likely that you're going to have a thrower to actually throw the ball. Vis-a-vis looking at, for example, Dark Elves, which their best passing stat is a 3 or a 4+, which is for an elf team not something that we're used to. So I think it will make for a very, very interesting change of play. And however, I think it will draw the game into a more conservative style of play. We will see, in general, less passing, except from the teams which have a thrower.
Yes, I think that is also something that I am expecting, but what I wanted to point out is that now, with the thrower having such an important role, some teams which do not have a thrower might feel as though they are short-changed in this edition. My view, however, is that passing has never been the key strategy to most Bloodbowl games.
Correct.
So this is a slight change, and what it does, it stops the ability of high agility teams from literally crossing the pitch one side to another as easily. It will still be doable, but there will be a more difficult role involved.
Correct. The first change going through also the stat line is the maximum allowed stats, and there is a very important change there where the maximum movement stat is now a 9. So we will no longer have movement 10 gutter runners with sprint or movement 10 catchers, which can do a natural one-turn touchdown and being that annoying. So you will always need to do the pushes to do that one-turn
Or get the quick snap.
Or get the quick snap, but at least it's not an automatic get the gutter runner and score the ball to and score. Which I think we can all agree it was a bit annoying when you get that movement and gutter runner.
It is only something that you see in league play or very particular tournaments that allow your own star player kind of to be made. But yes, when you see that the gutter runner or the wood elf catcher or any catcher that can get a natural one-turn touchdown, it's a bit of an irritating play. So I am very happy to see that go on. Talking about quick snap, shall we go over the kickoff table?
Yes, we can. The kickoff
I
table, which page are we talking about?
We are talking on page 41.
This is a very big change to what's been happening, and I think the more significant changes is the events which are the most annoying and the most that can turn the game around have been controlled to die 3+3 players rather than the full team.
Or just die 3 players in some
just die 3 players.
Yes.
Yes.
So let's talk about some of the most irritating ones. Thrower Rock is no longer on this.
Correct.
It's not here.
Officious ref, no?
Now it is officious ref. You can still get a player thrown out because the player started arguing with the ref. They should not be doing that. They really should not be doing that. But sometimes they do.
But at least it doesn't die.
At least it doesn't die, yes. It's not like you're getting your star player in the league, your carefully nurtured player that you've been growing up so much, and then it dies. Because a fan threw a rock.
If we can sidetrack, I remember the first player that Ian, my brother, famously managed to get to legend with 7 skills, werewolf, a necromantic werewolf. First, before we even start turn 1, throw a rock and he dies. And he doesn't regenerate, obviously. So that was beautiful.
I'm quite sure you were very sad at that outcome, or whoever was playing him was very sad.
It was me. That's good. Pitch invasion, you get die 6 plus your fan factor, and a random die 3 players. The lowest person selects die 3 of their players.
Yes, so now the fan factor actually directly.
No, but fan
factor is changed. Now fan factor is the new fame, right?
Exactly.
So there is no longer
dedicated
fame.
fans.
Exactly. You roll die 3, I believe,
die 3 only,
equal to die 6 each.
Correct.
And you add your dedicated fans, which is what now is referred to what was previously fan factor.
Correct.
So that is an interesting change, which means that whoever has a higher fan factor now has a much higher chance of actually higher dedicated fans.
Has a much
higher chance. I'm not sure if it's limited. It was usually limited to 18 as fan factor. I had not yet managed to find what it is limited to now.
I didn't go through it, but also a very interesting thing within the kickoff event table is 7 is no longer changing weather,
yes.
Which is, as most of you might know, is the most likely result on a 2 die 6 roll. It is now brilliant coaching, so it has improved the viability of taking an assistant coach within your team as well.
Particularly because brilliant coaching is not affected by the fans, it is only affected by your assistant coaches. And same thing for cheering fans. Cheering fans is only now affected by your cheerleaders.
But cheering fans does not give you a reroll.
It doesn't, no. It gives you a prayer to nothing.
We'll get to the prayers
later.
Get to that later.
We'll get to that later, yes. So let's go through them top to bottom quickly.
Good.
Get the ref, I think, is essentially the same.
Yeah.
Timeout is the old riot.
Yes,
but it now works different. So if the kicking team's turn marker is turn 6, 7 or 8, you get an extra turn. Otherwise, both players lose a turn. There's no roll-off involved now, it's automatic. Set defense is an interesting change. The opponent the kicker can no longer set up their team again. They can only move die 3 plus 3 open players. And it's specifically open, so if the player is marked, if the player is on the
line of scrimmage
and marked, the player cannot move.
it's a very big change because you had, when you're playing a bashing team against an elf team, and again, I think we're systematically seeing small changes which elves benefited a lot of.
Yes.
So having your wood elves on the line of scrimmage, getting a solid defense, or a perfect defense as you used to call, and moving them out of harm's way and avoiding those mighty blows in your faces.
Yes, and your opponent crying slowly to himself to sleep, being able to only hit one elf maybe.
Correct.
High kick, it's the same.
Yeah.
Nothing has changed whatsoever. Cheering fans, as we said, prayers to Nuffle, we'll get back to that later. Only your cheerleaders help, remember that. Brilliant coaching, again, only assistant coaches help. And it's now number 7, no longer number 8.
And the die 6 instead of a die 3.
And it's a die 6 instead of a die 3. Same for cheering fans, I missed that. Changing weather, it still does exactly the same thing, but it's on number 8 rather than number 7. Quick snap only allows you to move, again, open players and only die 3+3. So no longer can you quick snap with your entire team.
So your quick snap with the gutter runner, who's now movement 9 with sprint, can be, no, if you put him in an empty box, he can still do the natural one-turner, but you need to roll a quick snap basically.
Yes.
Die 3+3 for everyone means a minimum of 4 to a maximum of 6 players. When you have 11 players on the pitch, having a maximum of 6 which can do these things, and reducing the ones that are in attacking zone, I think is a...
But that's also important because we have die 3+3, so let's say you set up rule of 5.
Yeah.
And you roll the die 3+3 and you get a 2.
Just having a look
At
if
the
there's
chat.
any chat, feel free to...
Yes, feel free to ask us anything.
We'll have our chat here.
We'll have our chats, exactly, and we'll answer you. What I was going to say, imagine you set up rule of 5 and you get perfect defense. And you roll 2. So now you can move 5 players, but what do? Do you move the 5 players that are protected? No, they're no longer protected like that.
Exactly.
Do you move the 3 players which are in front, which have been placed there to protect the other 5 players?
Exactly.
So, yeah, this the quick snap, the perfect defense are no longer.
Same thing with the blitz.
Yes, blitz.
What's interesting is you can perform a throw teammate action,
Yes.
specifically says.
Well, that halfling must get to the ball somehow.
Officious rep, we've talked about it, it's the new throw rock. And pitch invasion, it's die 6 plus your fun factor. Die 3 random players are going to leave the pitch. This means that you're no longer going to be playing against Greg and get 6 6s and you get 6 players out. And then you roll a 4+ on his team and you get none out. So that's a good change as well.
Yes. You said they're going to go out. They get stunned.
No, you're right. Sorry.
As they were. It was stunned and it still is stunned.
Apologies.
But it's die 3 players. And I think die 3 players on each side is much
On one
fairer.
side, though.
On one side, sorry, is much fairer than
Yes. Agreed. Fun factor, sweltering heat, the weather table we skipped, is now die 3 players for each team that were in the pitch before, that are now not going to be playing. Again, it's the same thing, it's not a random thing where whoever rolls more ones is going to be penalized the most. So.
Yes, I think that is the only change in the weather table. Yes, it is no longer the player who rolls the most ones who gets penalized most, and up to 3 players may be fair, unless your opponent has been killing off your team previously. But that's a problem for another time.
Yeah. Prayers to Nuffle.
Yes, let's go to prayers to Nuffle. And as I said, Thrower Rock is no longer available. I was kind of lying because Thrower Rock is one of the possible prayers to Nuffle. So prayers to Nuffle you can get either from cheering fans, or you can get prayers to Nuffle because you are the underdog.
And no, not necessarily. So you get a prayer to Nuffle. So every player gets a prayer to Nuffle.
Yes.
And then you get an extra prayer to Nuffle for every full 50,000 gold pieces of difference in your team value.
Yes.
So that's very interesting as well.
Yes.
Thrower Rock, if I might add, I don't think we're going to go through the 16 prayers for Nuffle.
Let's just go on the prayer on the Thrower Rock.
The Thrower Rock is not. So there is also a definition for stalling.
Yes.
So if you are stalling, then throw a rock. At the end of their team turn, you may roll a die 6 on a 5+ throw a rock happens, basically.
And the thrower rock is in possession of the player who rolled it. So one of his fans will want his opponent to score. And if the opponent doesn't score, has the ability to score, and doesn't, on a 5+,
the ball carrier goes down. Which is very interesting.
Yes.
I think it's an interesting mechanic. However, this is the prayer to Nuffle for the league. There's another prayer to Nuffle table for exhibition play.
Which I need to find, I don't know exactly.
Yes, you need to have a look. I think it's towards the end. Exhibition, here it is. There's 8 results instead. I think this is the one we're going to be playing most. It's on page 103. We have a treacherous trapdoor where the famous trapdoor within the new pitches starts taking starts being there. Friends with the ref, your RB the ball becomes on a 5 on a 6. Stiletto, randomly a player gets stabbed. Iron Man, his armor gets improved by 1 random player. Knuckle Dusters, someone gets mighty blow. Bad habits, die 3 players. Gain a loner 2+.
Yes.
Greasy cleats, a random player has their movement reduced by 1, and last but not least, blessed statue to Nuffle.
One player becomes
Gets pro,
exactly. It's important that both for the case where you gain loner and in this case where you gain pro, the player cannot have the loner skill.
Yes.
But let's discuss stalling. We've mentioned it. We can skip some and then go back to them. Stalling is interesting. Stalling now, as I said, I think the only thing I saw that penalizes stalling is that throw a rock in league play. So again, it's not a big impact, and it's a lot of definition for something that will not very much have an impact. So
And the reality is stalling in exhibition play is not discouraged now, because it is an integral part of the game and when you're playing resurrection tournaments. However, in league play, I think I agree, it does make it a little bit boring.
And that way you want players to skill up. You
score,
want
exactly.
action, you don't want stalling.
Exactly.
So stalling is defined, while Jean searches for it, stalling is defined as a player that can essentially move into the touchdown line and already has the ball without rolling any dodge outs. Go for it, or in this case rush, as go for it have now been named, is not included. So if your player has to rush to get to the touchdown line, and you don't do it so as not to risk the player falling, your opponent might still roll that 5+ if he has the thrower rock.
If the player is open, if the player is in possession of the ball, if the player is able to activate and perform their declared action without the need to first roll a die 6. If the player is able to move into the opposition's end zone without needing to both rush or dodge.
Yeah, rush is there, okay.
Yes, rush is there as well.
I think
So I think what's also interesting though, we might be seeing people staying that rush extra box before the touchdown line and needing that rush to score the very famous one reroll one on the touchdown line, which I'm sure will happen and penalize someone. So.
Or the player will simply stay a bit closer to the middle to get that, which means it will make his opponent a bit more capable of getting the ball back.
Correct.
Leaving play a bit more open.
Exactly.
But again, we're only talking in the case where thrower rock is in play. So only in league play, and only if
on a 1 in 16 chance
that your opponent rolls the thrower rock player to Nuffle.
Also, what's very interesting is in the rush, in the new go for it rule, it has been clarified finally that rush is rolled before any other rolls.
Yes.
So before dodges, before anything else, you have to roll the go for it first and then dodge later. So the always question is dodge or go for it first. Now it's very clear, it's rush first. There's also jumping, I think the most important and big change to the core mechanics of the game.
Jumping. So if a player is prone, you could not pass over him before, but now you can.
Yep,
You can jump over a prone player. This works exactly like leap, with the exception that it has to be a prone player. You can't leap over empty places, you can't jump over players, you can only jump over a player which is prone or stunned.
Correct. You get the negative modifiers, you don't, and the difference, different to leap, is they don't count to the box you're going into, but they count both from the box you're going in and the box you're going into, whichever of those is the highest. So if you're leaving a box marked with 2 players and going into a box marked with 1 player, you get a -2 on your agility roll. So instead of a 2+, if you're an elf,
you're jumping on a
4+. But it's very interesting. I think it's going to change the dynamic of our defending, our column defenses. So this is going to change a lot.
Yes, I think that might be the one rule that will really impact some strategic play and positioning that has to be taken into account.
Correct. I think this part actually helps.
Yes.
But well, I don't know. It's hugely untested from us as the community, so we'll just have to wait, play and see how it goes, basically.
There is, however, the guarantee. The Games Workshop has worked with competitive players and has tested this rule set already through game testers, and I think it shows. It's a very nicely written rule set with very few ambiguities.
Correct. I'm trying to see. The passing has changed slightly.
Yes, and with that, I think I would go to the definitions of what is a scatter, because that has been very specifically defined now, and it has allowed
scatter, bounce,
and deviation, I believe.
Yes. Deviation is when you roll the die 6 and die 8.
Exactly.
Scatter is when the ball is moving, but it's not on the ground.
So it scatters 3 times.
Exactly. And bounce is when it lands on the floor and then moves to another box, basically.
Only once, exactly.
Exactly. But the only thing that's changed, I think, in reality, is the wildly inaccurate passes.
But that means the wildly inaccurate is the one change, but it also means that you no longer fumble when the result equals 1. You only fumble on a natural 1.
When making a natural 1, that's correct.
So your thrower will always throw the ball unless you roll a 1.
Correct.
If the result equals 1 but isn't 1, so let's say you get a 3 and you have a -2, so it equals 1, it is wildly inaccurate, but it's not fumble. In the case of a wildly inaccurate pass, you deviate. The pass becomes similar to a kick. So you've chosen your square, and the pass deviates from there.
Correct. And what's interesting though is, if you have your thrower or any player with the ball that's covered with all the 9 boxes around him, he can still get the ball off on his passing stat, basically.
Yes.
No, on whatever stat, as long as it's not a natural 1.
If the player does not have passing,
then it's automatic.
Then it's an automatic fumble.
Correct.
Because I must say that. So if the passing skill of a player is a dash,
like a mummy,
a flash goal, and there are quite a few big guys have no passing skill.
Correct.
But that is very interesting.
Yes. Trying to see what else I have written, but I can't. Here we go. Deflections?
Yes, they're related to passing. So now it's no longer an automatic interception. You first try to deflect.
Which works exactly the same way as how interceptions used to make. But then if you manage to get the deflection, then you need to catch the ball. So let's say your wood elf catcher is in an open box, you roll 5+ to deflect, and then you roll the normal 3+ to catch the ball with a reroll.
Yes.
What I didn't check is if catch still affects. I don't think it affects interceptions anymore. It's here.
Why do you double check that?
No, it's only to catch the ball catch now.
Exactly.
Catch doesn't help interceptions anymore.
So if you successfully deflect, then catch helps you. Otherwise, it doesn't. What this does, something that is interesting, is the more accurate a pass is, the more difficult the modifier. And also, whether you can intercept or not is decided after the scatter. So if the pass is inaccurate, or wildly inaccurate, you check whether you can intercept at that point, which means now you intercept after the pass roll.
Exactly.
And that is another change.
That is another big change.
Yes.
Correct. We have the superb throw teammate.
Ah, yes, of course. Throwing a teammate now is no longer exactly as it was. If you manage the pass, so if you get the result you need, which is usually a 5+, I believe, for...
No, normally it's like a 2 or 3+.
No.
You're right, sorry.
It's we never used to notice what the actual pass would be.
Normally it's a 6, I think.
Let's say it's a 5 or 6. So you need to get that just for your teammate to scatter. If you don't get that, if you get the 3+ or 2+, it's a successful throw.
But you get a -1.
You get a -1 to land. Exactly. If it's a 1, if it's equals 1, not a natural 1, it's a terrible throw.
Exactly.
So
they get a -2 to land.
And it deviates, not scatters. So again, it deviates, not scatters.
But this is actually a buff in my opinion.
Yes.
Because before you couldn't get a superb throw and have the goblin or whatever it is land on a 3+. It was always a 4+. You always had the -1. But now
That's because of the change in agility now.
Correct.
Agility used to get a lot of +1s.
Correct.
That has been completely eliminated. There are no pluses to agility whatsoever.
You just get a straight up.
You just get a straight up roll, which means all the landing rolls have softly been upgraded to a 3+.
Yes.
All of them.
If you get a superb roll though.
Of course, otherwise
it's a normal 4+ like it was before. What's also more interesting is that you get star player points for managing to throw a player. So stunty teams have a good way of helping their big guys skill, basically.
Particularly for the Linemen.
Correct. Because it's easier for him as well.
Yes.
Right? So
with strong arm it's easier and there are more halflings to throw.
Yes. Next we have skills basically, but we're not going to go through all the skills because there's a lot of changes there.
Yes.
New stuff, interesting stuff, and we
some old stuff which has been changed. For instance, Leap, which would have players used to roll a straight 3+. Now they don't no longer do that. Leap now gives you, it allows you to use jump over standing players, and it reduces one of your modifiers.
Correct.
So best case scenario for a war dancer, leaping over into a cage is a 4+.
And you can cage with more players and make it even more difficult.
Exactly.
So very interesting.
So we might see a change to the Vengabus.
Change to the Vengabus, Wood Elves I think have been hit.
Yes.
I hope that they have been hit actually, coming from a Wood Elf player.
Reluctant to that player.
Reluctant.
Despite his inadmission otherwise.
The injury table.
Shall we just, before we go to the injury table, shall we just gloss over some of the major changes in the skills? So in agility skills there are no major changes, not even in block skills. Shadowing has changed a bit with the way you roll the dice.
Yes.
Now it's the player with shadowing that rolls the dice, not his opponents. Same for tentacles. Interesting change is the addition of Iron Hard Skin, which
negates Claw basically.
Exactly, negates Claw.
But Claw doesn't stack with Mighty Blow anymore.
Claw no longer stacks with Mighty Blow. I think that's a very important change you should focus on. So Claw only works if you get an 8+. You no longer get a 7 and say, oh, my Claw is ready.
I think that's a big nerf to the Chaos teams.
It reduces the strength of teams with access to Mighty Claw.
Correct.
With passing, there are a number of interesting skills, and the merging of pass block into kickoff and kickoff return into one skill. maybe we will see that skill being used a bit more now.
There has been a lot of talk as well about Fumble Ruski,
Yes.
which is basically leaving the ball behind you and not having a turnover, and then being able to pick up the ball with another player. I don't know. I mean, is it worth it taking it instead of another important skill?
I don't know. It's a skill which has a very limited use. It's very situational.
But it also allows you to be able to pass, hand off, and fumble Ruski in the same turn. So
Maybe
we
something
need
you'll
to
find
test.
useful,
We need to
yes.
test and see, basically.
Yeah. And what is also interesting is the strength skills addition of Brawler.
Brawler, I think, is going to be massive. Having a skill that allows you with your bolt down within the strength is basically an invitation to big guys to be more viable. I think big guys are going to have a bigger presence instead of
So do you
being
think this is the
very-
auto first skill up for any big guy?
Yes, definitely.
Unless you get a double.
Obviously.
But now you no longer get a double. Shall we talk a bit about that?
Yes, I think it's very important that we talk about the
Skill ups.
The skill ups. That's basically the last thing we have there.
I think we skipped one.
Did we?
MVP.
Advancements, yeah.
Yes,
That's-
advancements.
That's the one we skipped.
So yeah, we can just talk about advancements in general.
Going to order our pizzas meanwhile.
Yes. Yes, so while he's finishing the order, our intent is to finish this discussion. We will have a short break and then we will return with the actual game itself.
Correct.
We might start setting up while we wait for the pizzas. Yes, skill ups. So we've already talked slightly about skill ups. We've talked about the addition of having the ability to get a skill, an SPP, spending but not gaining. I think gaining star player point is a bit before. If you want.
Gaming, I think, is. No, it's here on the opposite page.
Okay, excellent. So, skill ups. We've already talked about earning a star player point for a successful throw teammate.
Yes.
Is it a successful or a superb?
When a player makes a superb throw team,
So-
and they need to land safely. But it's still
It's kind of like
a bit extra.
a bit extra, yes. Something extra for the big guy. He's done something spectacular, and why shouldn't he get some star player
Of course.
points for it?
Passing interference, deflection gets you 1 star player points,
And then actual interception, so if you deflect and catch it, then you get the star
the
player.
full 3 like you used to before.
2.
Yes, but before it used to be 3 for the interception. I think.
I'm not sure.
Or
but
2. I'm getting confused
It's
now.
okay.
Well,
It's going to be 2 now.
2 for the interception, 1 for the deflection, so you get 3 in total. I think it was 3, but anyway. Casualty stays the same, touchdown stays the same. Most valuable player has been reduced down to 4 instead of 5.
So now, a successful pass with your thrower and an MVP is no longer enough to skill up your thrower.
And they removed the die 3, choosing 3 players in die 3.
But they added that it has to be a player that did not suffer a casualty or is dead.
Or is dead. So
Actually, did not
the
suffer a
same as
casualty
dead.
result of dead.
of 15,
And-
16,
So which is dead.
which is dead.
And I think we land on the injury table. That is what we skill.
Yes.
Let's discuss star player points.
Indeed. So you can now randomly select skills, which a lot of people have been saying that it's no, but I think it's going to, considering the very low cost of skilling up your players with those skills, considering if you randomly select primary skills with 7 star player points, you have 2 skills compared to the 16, so less than half what we used to have before, which is a lot.
And getting a secondary skill, the old double is now requires more investment, because now you essentially have to double the star player cost, the star player point cost.
And we're going to see, I think, less character improvements, because improving your strength skill means you need to spend 18 star player points and then get a 15 or a 16 on a die 16. So it's a
Yes.
1 in 8 chance after spending 18 star player points. I think this has been a very big change and very important. We can all, I think we've all played matches against strength 4 war dancers, strength 5 bull centaurs, strength 5 Soros.
5 Black Orcs, strength 4.
Anyway, anything with plus
Blitzers, yes.
strength is just a lot.
Yes. That is a big change, and it's not just strength, any other skill up in reality. So if you want to improve your agility,
And your agility, correct. But your movement, passing, or armor is a lot easier.
yes,
Having said that.
yes, movement is 1 to 13, but movement can be useful, but it was usually only chosen because you rolled it, not because you really wanted it.
Correct, but at least now you know that if you get, if you save up 18 points, you're either gonna get +1 movement or better.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yes. I'll say that is very true.
Interesting changes. The injury table.
Yes, we can go straight to that. So, the injury table, which also affects it's here, page 60.
We have a comment from Steve. We haven't seen you in a very long time, Steve. I hope you're holding up well. We're looking forward to be able to play together again. So hopefully soon enough we'll be able to get back to playing more tabletop, basically.
Yes, that is what we are all hoping for.
Did you find the injury table?
Page 60.
Page 6060.
It's actually 61, but 60 takes
The same spread.
Yes. So 60 is armor roll, is essentially what is slightly interesting that the stunt rule no longer affects the injury table, because the stunties have their own injury table now.
Correct.
Which essentially is the old stunty injury rule.
Yes, but I think it avoids what thick skull with stunty used to make for very weird.
Yes, it used to mean that on 7, no, it wasn't weird. It was weird the outcome. 7 was you're out, but 8 you're still there.
Yes. So, yes, but it was still weird.
Yes, exactly. Now, thick skull on stunties, and coincidentally you'll be having that this game,
Yes.
means that you are only KO dominate.
Thick skull, they can only make a roll of a 9 and do a 3 to roll of an 8 as a stunt result, exactly. So it makes a bit more sense now.
Yes.
Now casualty, so if you get a 10 plus on your injury table, you roll the die 16. 1 to 6 is badly hurt, 7, 8 or 9 is missed next game, 10, 11 or 12 is a serious injury, 13, 14 is a characteristic reduction, 15, 16 is dead. What this also means, and I think it is a welcome change, that we will see less dead players.
Yes, we will see less dead players because it's now a 1 in 8 rather than a 1 in 6.
Correct.
However, we will see more seriously hurt players.
Just miss next game though, but even niggling,
Even niggling and miss next game have increased.
You're right.
And technically speaking, even the characteristic change hasn't. Characteristic change.
So, what I didn't check looking at this is, has the Apothecary changed?
No, it's the same. I've
It's the
actually
same.
checked
So
it.
you re-roll the die 16?
You re-roll the die 16. You actually roll the die 16 twice and he chooses one of them.
Okay.
If he chooses a bad
So
letter,
you need to declare the Apothecary before the first one is rolled?
I have to make sure of that. No, it's after it has been rolled.
After, so you
So
get
you
to
roll
roll
it again and you choose one of them.
Correct, okay.
And you can still use it for the knocked out players, getting a knocked out player to stay stunned on the pitch.
Yes.
That has not changed.
What
at all.
we've used the most in exhibition.
What has changed is the fact that you have a lesser chance of actually managing it. Before it used to be 1 and 2, you have a 1, 2 or 3.
In getting the badly hurt, so yes, we're going in exhibition play. We're going to see more knocked out use,
Yes.
and in league play we're going to see more Apothecary saved for those crucial
Badly
injuries,
hurt, yeah.
because it's more likely to get a negative stat or something like that.
What is also interesting is that the niggling injury no longer affects the injury table. It affects the casualty table.
Again?
Niggling injury no longer impacts the injury table.
Okay.
It impacts the casualty table.
Interesting.
But it's a cumulative +1.
Okay, so you can keep getting niggling injuries.
Yes.
Okay.
So if you have 3,
then you die.
then you die.
So
Then
it's
you start.
interesting. It means players are not as, you can afford having players remain there with a niggling injury.
Yes.
So at least the increase in the chance of getting a niggling injury doesn't mean you have to fire the player like we used to before,
Yes.
because he's going to leave the pitch quicker.
Yes.
Good, good.
He won't leave the pitch quicker, but if he leaves the pitch,
He's going to get hurt
he's
more,
going to get hurt.
which
more.
is very good, I think.
Yes. On the
And
whole,
just like Head Necromancer Mordred Earwacker said, it's not whether you get knocked down, it's how much of you gets back up.
yes, this book has some very interesting quotes.
I haven't read the fluff yet, and it's something that the artwork, if we can comment on the artwork, I really like it. And as well, if you look at the new packaging of the new teams, I think they've really hit the mark. Even with how many miniatures that there is in the style of the NFL,
Yes.
the colors, I really enjoy this.
It's not just the teams, even the box itself.
Yes.
The box itself is extremely worth it. It has 2 full teams.
Yeah.
And for anyone that looks at the Imperial Nobility Team, please note that the assembly rules say that you have 6 linemen, you only have 4. 2 of them are blitzers, it's a typo.
In the assembly rules.
In the assembly rules. The models are there, the assembly rules are correct. The blitzers are called linemen as a typo. Let's call it a typo.
Let's call it a typo.
Or a paste error. A paste error.
I think it's a very, if that's going to be the only issue that there is with this rule book,
Yes.
I must say I'm very happy.
Yes, there are some interesting things to consider. Looking forward to exhibition play with the new rules, I must say, and tournaments with the new rules.
Correct. It will be very interesting. I think we can start looking at wrapping this portion of our introduction to the new season of Blood Bowl here. We're going to be back in around 20 minutes, 20-25. We're just going to fill our bellies up, or else
Yes,
as halflings we're not going to be happy.
No, not really.
And then we'll be back with an exhibition match of Imperial Nobility against the Black Orcs.
Yes, we have already selected our team, so we've chosen to use the exhibition play rules suggested by the rulebook. We have chosen our teams up to 1-1-5-0, and we will each be adding a star player. We have not used this, we have each added the star player in the box. So I'll be using Griff Oberwald with my Imperial Retainers, which to be fair, my Imperial Nobility, which to be fair will be having 2 less linemen. So this will be my team.
And I'm going to be using the Black Orcs, again with the same suggested skills, with the same suggested setup. I'm going to be adding Varag, Butcher. I'm very into It's the first time I actually used him. It's the first time I see him on a pitch actually. With, in my case, just 1 less goblin to play with.
Yes. On the whole, this will be an interesting match. We will be seeing the 2 new teams in effect. Many people are saying that the Imperial Nobility are the old Bretonians.
There is some slight changes though, with 2 less blitzers and the introduction of throwers.
Yes.
However, the bodyguards, I think they're called now.
They're called bodyguards, what were the yeomen, I believe.
Yeomen, exactly. Are now have also stand firm added.
Yes.
And we also had chose to, as suggested by the exhibition play rules, added a number of star player points, which equates to 6 normal skills basically.
Yes.
And
we chose to not allow double stat ups
stats, doubles,
or
or
doubles,
anything
so
like
it's just 6 normal skills. In my case, I took guard on the 4
bodyguards.
I took guard on the ogre, and one of my throwers, which I will be getting a marker, is having sure hands.
Fair enough. Very simply, since I've seen the roster leak, I've been meaning to try this and I think they work well. I'm going for 6 stand firms on my 6 Black Orcs. Having Brawler and Grab, I think is going to be very interesting. The only thing is he also has 4 stand firms, so I think we're going to be stuck in a rut. But let's see, nothing is ever predictable in a game of Bloodbowl.
Let Nuffle help us now.
Let Nuffle be with us. See you in a bit.
See you guys.
Thank you. Starting with our game as promised, we'll have the Black Orcs against the Imperial Nobility. We're very excited to test out. As I said, in my team I have a Rone, I have Varag the Butcher, I have 5 Goblins, 6 Black Orcs who come with Brawler, Grab, and I have given them stand firm on 6. 3 Rerolls and Apothecary, and 4 in fans, dedicated fans. But yeah, let's just go like that.
Okay. So I have 2 Linemen, 2 Blitzers, 4 Bodyguards who have gotten guard, 2 Throwers, one of which has sure hands, an Ogre with guard, and last but probably most important of all, Griff.
What I'd like to go through before we start as well.
Just quickly, I will be having 2 Rerolls and an Apothecary. And yes.
Is the star players, because
yes,
as I said before, I've never used Varag, but he's basically movement 6, strength 5, agility 3+, passing 5+, armor 10+. He comes with block, jump up, loner on a 4+, mighty blow +1, and thick skull. He has
all
his
of that for 280k.
280, exactly. He comes with crushing blow once per game when an opposition player is knocked down as the result of a block action performed by Varag. You may apply an additional +1 modifier to the armor, and this can be applied after the armor roll is made. Griff, on the other hand, Rona?
Yes, so Griff Oberwald. He is quite familiar to most players, so movement 7, strength 4, agility 2+, passing value of 3+, armor 9+, has block, dodge, fend, loner 3+, not 4+, sprint and sure feet. Also clocks in at 280k and has the added ability that once per game he may reroll 1 dice roll that was rolled either as a single or as a multiple dice, so even a block roll. This cannot be a dice that rolls for armor, injury or casualty.
Fair enough. Should we get a go then? Sequence of play?
Cheat sheets ready?
Yes.
And I also have 1 dedicated fan.
So let's start with the fans.
Yes.
We roll a die 3.
Exactly.
So I have 1 plus 4 is 5. You have 5 plus 1 is 6. No, you have 3
plus 1 is 4.
Is 4. So I get.
You get 1 more
one
fan
factor.
Exactly.
The weather.
1 die each. Nice weather.
Nice weather. And then we go on to take Journeyman, which we don't need, and inducements, which we've taken.
Yes.
And the famous prayers to Nuffle table. So we roll a die 8. I don't think it's in the cheat sheet. No. So we need to reference the rule book.
Page 102, I believe.
Exhibition have a stiletto. Randomly select one player on your team that is available. He has stab until during this drive. Until the end of a drive.
So those have Rone,
They cannot take it.
and let's roll a die 16 for the other ones in this order, starting from 1 to 11, and to 10, and re-rolling any higher results. Right?
Yep.
13.
No. No.
12. Is this a sign for things to come? 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's mark him.
Okay, I can roll mine.
Yes. I have the table here.
Nothing. I have given sacrifices to you. Do not let me down.
Yes.
I get a 4. Iron Man. So someone's gonna get +1 in armor.
Someone without load.
Exactly. So same thing.
You have 11, however.
Going like this, starting from the goblins. I get a 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You have one for me as well, please.
Mm-hmm.
So he's armor 11 plus.
It had been cuter than a goblin.
Yes. Because these are not normal goblins, these are bruiser goblins. And the difference is that their armor, they have thick skull.
They have the same stats but thick skull added, yes.
They're bruisers. Okay, so next we can determine the kicking team.
Okay.
And it's either a die roll or we can flip a coin.
That's dire.
Die roll it is. You choose.
I'll start kicking.
Okay, you can set up.
Excellent.
We cannot shake hands,
No?
but good game to you.
Yes, same to you.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 12. Still works. Okay.
So, ball in the middle. Where's mine?
Deviate. It's also said that you should nominate a kicking player, and it specifies that it's there for some other rule, like getting a prayer or something,
Yes.
but to get in the habit of nominating a kicking player.
So, this will be my kicking player.
6 in direction 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Very nice kick, your kicking player. Let's have a look at the kickoff table. We get an 8, which is now
Changing weather.
changing weather. So you roll again. 11, it's raining.
Pouring rain.
Pick up or passing.
Minus
So
two.
not catching anymore. Catch, yes. Catch or pick up, yes.
Catch or pick up. Passing is very sunny still.
Okay, bounce the ball.
Let's bounce the ball. And we hope to not get a 2, 3 or 5.
And 2, 3, or 5.
It's an 8.
It's not. It goes this way. Have a good game. So
game.
we're going to start with this Black Orc, blocking this guy over here.
The lineman.
The lineman over there. I get the palm.
Eva, and you are using grab.
I pull you there. He's armor 7, isn't he?
It's good enough. Good enough.
Varag is going to block your whatever they're called now.
Bodyguards.
Bodyguard gets a push.
Stand fair.
You stand fair. This Black Orc is going to blitz 3 and 4 to do the blitz. I get the pow.
I will not stand firm.
Okay, I pull you. Does grab work on a blitz?
No.
No, it doesn't.
This was the whole point.
I do not follow up. 6.
Armor 8, it's fine.
This goblin will come over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 over here. 1 over here. 1 over here. Do the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Troll is gonna block. You're okay. Really stupid.
Close.
I'm actually gonna. No, I block. Because the troll has changed with this projectile vomit, which is basically a stab on a 2+.
Oh no, one you stab yourself.
Exactly. He pushes. He pushes him there, and he's gonna. No, he pushes him there, and he will follow up.
Okay.
Now let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pick up the ball on a 4+, because it's raining. He manages.
So it's goblin.
Over. And that's the turn over to you.
Okay, so my first turn. And let's get ourselves on. So let's start with some simple movements to prepare. I think everything else has to wait a bit. Yes, let's start with a blitz.
Okay.
Yes, 1, 2, has 2 assists, so that's
Okay.
turn 5.
And the ogre.
No, the ogre is marked.
He has guard.
Has guard as well, I forgot. Not marked with green. So, could I block? Choosing the paw.
Okay, stand firm.
He has stand firm as well, yes. So, he just falls down. That's excellent. And armor before I continue moving. Nope. That works fine. So that was 1, 2, 3 to blitz. 4, 5, and 6 goes there. He goes there. Let's attempt a block with the ogre.
on the troll.
Okay.
No.
No. Loses his tackle zone.
Loses his tackle zones, exactly.
Mr. Oberwald.
I don't want to expose him yet. We'll see. So let's just place this guy there, and those two like that, and we'll attempt
There's some bets going on apparently.
Eva.
How long it takes you to start swearing in Maltese.
So let's to die under the troll.
Okay.
Your troll is at strength 7 at the moment.
Yes.
But I am at strength 4.
3, 4, because you have the lessons over there.
Yes.
I choose push.
I'm very surprised. I put him there. Not that I had much choice.
No.
And I will not follow up. And that's it for me.
Okay, so my second turn.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna come here, he's gonna come here. He's gonna stand up. Varag is gonna block.
Again.
Take you down. Do you stand firm?
Yes, I do.
Armor.
Over.
That's over without mighty blow.
Mm-hmm. And that's a stun.
Stun.
No matter how many mighties you pile on it.
Exactly. Now. That guy has stab, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna blitz him.
Sure.
I choose the POW.
Really?
Do you stand firm?
I will stand firm.
Okay. 2, 2, blitz, 3, 4.
Mm-hmm.
No?
Nope.
Troll will move. No?
Okay, both the guys are being a bit silly now.
He will do 1, 2, 3, and 4 here.
Okay.
The goblin's gonna block.
Yes, to die blocked by the goblin.
He's a bruiser at the end of the day.
He is indeed.
Ooh. I choose bow down. Do you wrestle?
I'm thinking about it. No, let's not wrestle.
Okay.
Let's fold. Together.
We're both fine.
We're both fine. So let's move over there. Your players are all facing the right direction.
Yes, except the troll was stupid.
Exactly.
Your turn too?
My turn. Let's go. blitz.
Okay.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Go for it. Rush to blitz.
Rush. I think the new song is gonna be Feel the Rush. Oh, feel it in the air. Is he gonna feel the rush?
No.
He gets a push.
Let's go.
Okay.
Block with the Ogre.
Okay. Yes, he wants to.
2 dice. Stand firm.
Yes.
Okay. That is fine. Can still do this. Block with the thrower. 2 dice as well. Paul.
I stand firm.
Stand firm. Armor. Let's see if we can make you start swearing them all.
See? No, almost. Close,
Close, close. Close enough. Now I have a bit of a personal dilemma.
They're always fun.
Let's fall.
Oh,
Dodge out.
okay.
4 plus.
Yes. He manages.
Successful.
+3.
+3 on the fall.
Ooh, but you get that double.
You get the double. We'll see what the ref thinks about this. Does
KO.
it have thick skull?
No, it doesn't.
Only the goblins have it.
But it's an exhibition match, so he's gonna Apothecary.
No, ref, what are you saying? Nothing happened here.
Out.
The ref disagrees.
So it's my turn 3. We're gonna start with, as you like to say, a sympathetic movement of the troll.
It
It
does.
does. 1, 2, 3. He's gonna block him.
Yes.
I choose go down.
I
Wait.
Doesn't have brawler, the troll.
No, he's blocking.
Ah, yes, it has brawler.
I will brawl in it. I push.
I stand firm.
No, he's gonna do the same. I choose the power.
I will still stand firm.
Okay.
Therefore,
Thank you. No.
it's fine.
Now we're gonna do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Varag's gonna blitz. 1, 2, 3. 4 to blitz. 3 dice.
+3. Yes.
Gets the push.
Not the skull, I assume.
And the follow. The goblin's gonna block.
2 dice.
He pushes him out. Does not follow up. He comes here, he comes here, he comes here. And I think that's my team done. I'm gonna have this goblin. And he says no.
Yes,
Over here.
yes, one square back.
And this goblin's gonna declare a foul.
Sure. Double 1s are always nice.
And double 2s and double 3s.
Seven. Enough.
Up to you.
My turn 3. So, this guy just stands up very easily.
And he turns around.
Yes, he does as well. I'm going to blitz with my thrower. Actually, yes. 1, 2, 3. No, this isn't the stiletto one. Where's the stiletto? That one is the stiletto one. Sorry. My mistake. I will not blitz with my thrower. The stiletto one is fine. So. Let's blitz with the blitzer here. 1, 2, 3, 4 to blitz, 2 dice. Push, no follow. Goes there. Blitz up. 4, 5, goes there. The ogre moves.
He tries to move, but he is not successful.
Again, let's put this here, so maybe he feels ashamed for next time. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one can come here. Griff can stay there. And I will block. What does this guy have? More armor?
Yeah,
So I'll block it.
I would assume so.
2 dice. I have an off guard again. Palm.
I stand firm.
Excellent. Armor. Nope. I think I did everyone. Your turn.
Turn 4. So, he's gonna stand up. He's gonna stand up. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 over here. Blitz with Varag. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to hit.
I don't have dodge.
You
I will
stand
stand
firm.
firm.
So I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to hit. No breakage of armor. Four over here. 4 over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. He comes here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He goes here. Now the troll is gonna try and block. No. So this black orc is gonna block him. 4, 5, 6, 3, 4.
Yep. I will stand firm, yes.
Okay.
Fine.
That's your turn.
My turn 4. This guy stands up. This guy stands up. My blitzer. So 3, 4, 5. Block.
Okay.
2 dice.
Yes.
close.
Hit the post. Okay.
Blitz.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to blitz.
Ooh, let's on my some star player on star player action now.
Griff and Varag. Just a push. And we will push him here.
Come to
We
Val.
will not follow up.
Oh,
So that was 4 to blitz. No, 5 to blitz. 6, 7. Good enough.
okay.
This side. Excellent. Let's see if the ogre wants to move.
Okay.
He does. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
Seven. Okay. No. Done.
Your turn 5. My turn 5. You have that bodyguard there, I don't think I did anything.
Ah, this one. He can block your armor 11 player.
Okay.
Let's do that. Paul, stand fair.
Yes.
Armor. Oh. Go.
Okay. So he gets up. He gets up. I'm gonna start with the simple stuff. Let's get Varag to block.
Mm-hmm. I will use wrestle if you choose move now. He has
I choose push, and I'm guessing you stand for
I will stand for this.
He's gonna block.
Ooh,
Time
first
to use
three
my
roll.
first 3 roll.
Definitely first 3 roll. I will stand firm.
Okay.
Some good quality armor in this match.
Rone's gonna blitz. No, Troll's gonna move.
No good story in Bloodbowl ever started with trolls going to blitz.
No. Blitz. One, to the blitz. I choose block.
Who are you
No,
blitzing?
brawler.
Sorry?
Here. Oh,
I will stand firm.
okay. You can come here. He's gonna block this bodyguard here for 1 die.
Okay. Isn't it? No, it's one die
Four,
because you have
five.
assess.
Is it 3, 4, 5?
Yes. Stand firm
Okay. And foul.
with +2, right?
Oh,
Dodge
dodge
first.
first. Dodge
Dodge
skill.
skill. Oh,
With +1.
yes. Sorry, +1, yes.
That is-
Ooh, will we argue the call here?
Ref. Wasn't me.
Wasn't it?
No. Wasn't me.
The ref
Yes,
doesn't
it
accept.
was.
Yes, it was. Get away, little goblin. Get away. So, my turn 5. Let's start with some simple people simply getting up. No. It does not like the best plan. Block on this guy. Okay. 2 dice. I choose foul. Nothing gives. I accept. Stand firm or not? Yes. Stand firm. Armor. Nope.
No one has broken armor yet this game.
Only players left for fouling. So.
No, I think there was an armor break on your player.
Yes, on this one. But that was a foul.
Yes, but I broke
And you broke an armor on one of these guys.
Yes,
on the
one
floor.
armor break each.
Yes. This is all dangerous stuff. But that is the nature of Bloodbowl, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So. The Ogre is going to move. Griff is going to blitz. 1, 2, 3, 4 to blitz. It's 2 dice. You have dodge. Yes. So I will push you 1 square back. That was 4 to blitz. Dodge out. Okay. 2 plus. Just enough. 5, 6, 7. And Griff is back in position. Actually, 5 and 6. This is an equally good position. He goes there.
Okay.
Block. 2 dice. Oh. I'm assuming stand firm.
Yes.
It's already the right direction. Armor. Nope. I have 1 player left. 2 players left. Yes. But I don't want to use those 2. I was considering the dodge there. Actually. This is not a good plan. Not at all a good plan. Block.
I guess I'm spoiled for a choice.
Yes. He's fine.
36. So he gets up. He gets up. He's gonna block here. Pound, do you stand firm?
Stand firm.
No. Varag is gonna block
Why was that a 2 die?
him on him.
2 die, yes. Okay.
Push, he doesn't stand
Stand
firm.
firm.
He comes here.
Mm-hmm.
Throw. He's gonna try and block the thrower.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Some real stupid bets are starting to get higher.
So he's gonna come here. He's gonna come here. He's gonna block him.
One die. Roll it.
Yeah. I can't reroll it again. I'm guessing.
Stand firm. I'm guessing no as well.
That's it. Your turn.
My turn 6.
Those stand firms are a lot, huh?
I have a lot of stand firms. As you guessed, it's going to be a pretty static game. So he's going to get up. He should be facing this direction. And block.
Yep.
Paul.
Stand firm.
Armor. No. No. There is something I really want to do, but I don't at the same time. Because it is pure madness. Okay, so let's accept midway to pure madness. Block on him. I'll pick it up later, don't worry. Push, I'm assuming stand firm. So, I need to get this guy up before I forget him. Let's a little bit up. Just keep him. Block with the troll on the goblin, with the ogre on the goblin. He wants to. 3 dice. Push. No follow.
Okay, you can face me.
Block here. 2 dice.
Stand firm. Actually, no stand firm.
No stand firm. Okay. I will follow. Armor. Ooh,
No.
close again. So, blitz. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 to blitz. The dice. 4, 5, 6. Push. Follow. This is facing the wrong direction because I haven't activated yet.
No.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and rush. Unless you get a 1 die price, I just do it to die on there.
Not feeling the rush.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So Rone is feeling the
1,
rush.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Rush. Let's rush. Yes.
He's felt the rush.
Block.
1 die on my troll. And he's out.
Let's see what the fans have to say about this.
Let's see.
Betrayal of pitch position. Nothing much. And I believe that was my last action for this turn because I will not be blocking Varag to die under here.
So my turn? Yes. He gets up. He gets up. Block here. Pop.
Stand firm.
Block with Varag. Stand firm.
Slightly too much stand firm on the pitch, I think, right?
Yes, yes. It's a bit annoying now. Block.
One die.
Reroll.
Nope. Let's say fine. Let's say fine. Okay. So, my turn 7. He will get up. My ogre will move. Nope. My ogre will not move. Block on him. The dice. Both down. Wrestle. Best moment, but not the worst moment either. So, blitz with Griff. So, 3, 4 to blitz. 2 dice. Go down. Armor on the goblin. Over. Enjoy. 7 is strong. Thick skull.
Thick skull, yes.
Thick
Thick
skull.
skull saves the day. Bounce of the ball to number
Right.
5, which goes over here. I shall not complain.
Not at all. Not at all. Okay. I'll simply move here.
Okay?
Stab.
No?
Getting closer, getting closer. Now. No block, no block. Your turn.
My turn 8. Let's start with the simple stuff. Block. Brawler.
Push. Grab.
Actually, there it is.
Okay.
Block. Stand firm, I'm guessing.
Yes.
Block of Varag.
Stand firm.
armor 7, right? Armor
9 plus.
9 plus. So he has mighty blow, and I use his one spelling action
So
to
that goes to a 9.
exactly
Injury?
KO.
KO. And I will use my Apothecary.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Blitz 1, 2 to blitz.
Yes. Well, that's what you want.
3 then. Surely 4. He stands up. That black orc blocks him with 2 dice.
Who will they block?
Him
So,
with 2 dice, you see stone-headed.
yes, yes. That's what we do.
Later.
Oh, it was a ball.
Oh, I got one here, no, it's fine.
Stand firm. Fine.
He gets up. What a mess. And last but not least, foul.
Dodge. 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 Plus 2 power. Over without help.
Okay,
Okay. That's okay.
and that's my turn.
That's your turn. My turn 8. Quite an uneventful half. So that goes there. That one goes there. So, blitz. 1, 2, 3, 4. Blitzing him. 2 dice. Stand firm or not? Stand firm. Armor. Nope. And so 4. I think he stays there. Finally, block with the ogre. To die block.
Stand firm.
Expected. Block on him. 2 dice. Stand firm, I assume. Block here. 2 dice.
No, he was looking for a quick.
Got back, I think, already.
No,
Yes.
because
I forgot to do it, and
Okay. And then down.
doesn't make a difference. It's last turn. Over.
Ooh.
let's see if the sure hands thrower does the
Wow,
injury.
it does.
Makes a difference.
What happens to him just out of
Curiosity?
yeah,
7.
is
Miss
this
next game.
next game, I think. Exactly.
Because it's 1 to 6 is badly
Badly
hurt.
hurt. So I have him left, and that's it.
And destroying.
Yes, but can I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Not even with a double rush.
Unless I do an impossible. So, put I under.
Ooh.
Let's see if I get to use at least one reroll this half. Choose the push.
Easily, and I stand firm as well. Okay.
My KO. No.
Good. Balance is enough, because I have a black on top.
Yes. This is your play.
So the armor 10 is removed.
And the stiletto is removed.
The stiletto is removed.
And my reserve comes in. Okay, that's slightly too much guard and stand firm on the pitch.
I will have to agree. Okay.
There we go.
Okay. I'm gonna nominate this goblin as the kicker.
Okay. And him the kicker since he's on the sideline.
Good question. I'm not sure.
But
I will nominate him just in case.
yes.
More in the middle. And it deviates one box in direction 6. So on top of the thrower. So the kickoff table. High kick. So push high kick is still like the kick.
I think it's still high kick. Yes, it is.
Yes.
Okay.
Try to catch it. On a three, please.
No.
Interesting. There is no minus, so this is interesting. There is no -1 to catch a scattered ball.
Exactly.
I'm just gonna double check that. Go on for now. And then bounce it.
I'll double check quickly.
8. Until you start playing. If yes, you've got to the ball. I don't think you're gonna start with picking up the ball.
No, I'm going to start picking up the ball. I'm going to start with, even if not, it's going to be in a safe place, so I'll just start with some easy blocks. Yep.
-1.
So, doesn't pick it up. Let's scatter.
I did already, so
8.
it's 8.
There we go. So there is the -1 still.
Yes.
Blitz. 3, 4 to blitz. Some more start player and start player action. No, wait, that's a 1 die. Silly. Let's not start with that. This goes there. Let's start with the easy over.
Wow.
Casualty. Let's see what happens. 8.
This next
Also,
game.
this next game. From the die. So, block on him. Also to dice. Push. I'm assuming stand firm. I assume stand firm.
Yes, sir, absolutely.
The Ogre will try and block the same player. The Ogre doesn't block. Let's give him the bone head of shame again. I think I will still do it. So 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, we'll go there. This shape will go there. To there. Blitz. So 3, 4 to blitz. One die. Push. No follow. 5, 6. And pick up on a 3 plus.
No, number 4. It's raining.
4 in green, yes. Pick up on a 4. So I had -1 to catch for that as well.
Yeah.
Sure hands.
Forgot about now. I remember.
Still no. Scatter. 1.
This
I think with that we didn't do anything to the ball for the whole last half. So
It was in his hands all the time.
yes,
So.
exactly. Just.
So he goes there, Varag blitzes for 3 dice. He pushes,
I will stand firm.
move the troll. Moves there, troll there, goblin there. He's gonna block here. 4, 5, 6, 7. You're 3, 4, 5.
3, 4, because the ogre is one hit.
Ah, okay. I didn't see that. I push. So he's gonna block him then for 2 dice. Push.
Stand firm.
He goes there. And he goes there. Your turn.
Okay. My turn too. I think this game is going to be just one big brawl.
It looks like.
So, let's start with the easy one. He will block him. Go down and I will use
Okay.
this. Right. Now, the ogre will try to block. He wants to. 2 dice.
Yeah.
Is that fair, I assume?
No, I don't.
So, no you don't. So I will throw you here and I actually will follow. Armor.
Yeah.
Over without mighty. Trying to avoid winning people bets. I know. So 4.
According to Mark, this game with 10 stand firms is like when the Balrog screams back, "Aqqas imma the king."
For anyone not following, it's not even you're going to buzz, dude. This is very sad. So, blitz with Griff. Actually, blitz with him. 1 to 2 blitz on the goblin. Push. Let's throw the goblin.
Push me.
And follow.
And then just touch me.
And that's done. I have so very little else left to do here. Let's go in contact. Isn't this the way this game wants to be played?
Looks like.
Do I attempt a jump here? Needs a rush as well.
Well, yeah, let's show them how jump works.
Fair enough. Let's go. Jump now. Just moving 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We shall jump to here.
So rush first.
Wait, jump to here. It's a better idea. Rush first.
Okay.
That was a 4 plus jump. The one before is a 3 plus jump.
Now jump.
Now jump.
Okay.
And another rush.
Feel the rush.
And another rush there. Wrong side.
Oh.
Ooh, let him fall. Go. To show them how rush works
Yes, we did.
and how jump works.
How jump, more importantly. So let's start off with
Getting people up.
who gets up. Varag blocks.
Who is him blocking?
Okay.
Has only one block.
I choose go down.
I choose wrestle. You have block, right?
Yes.
So I choose wrestle.
He blocks in front of him.
1 out of dice, yes.
Up.
Oh, stand firm.
This guy blocks.
Fend.
Oh, so not even.
Not playing against Imperial Nobility.
He goes there. He's gonna block your blitzer or try to.
Yes.
Yes.
He is 2 dice.
Push.
I don't have stand firm, so.
No, there you don't. So push him there. Him there. Rifle off.
Okay.
Here the goblins are.
Yes. Have those 2 goblins need to be moved.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's gonna do 1, 2.
Dodge out.
Dodging. Dodge skill.
Yes.
3,
Dodge out.
4, 5, 6. And that's your turn.
Excellent. So he's going to get, she's going to get up. He's going to get up. He's going to get up. straight line. He will cut up.
Okay.
Griff will block. Bow down.
Okay.
Armor. Nope. Gets up.
Banana.
Gets up. So that's 3 to get up. 4, 5, 6. Rush. Blocks. The black orc. 2 dice. Paul. Will he stand firm?
Yes.
He will stand firm. Literally facing this way as well. Armor. Nope.
No.
Blitz with the troll. With the ogre. Blitz with the ogre.
Ooh. Nothing ever started well with those words you said earlier, no?
Blitz with a troll, I said.
Oh, yes.
Well, both of our big guys have been a bit
Very stiff
lackluster.
with this game, yes.
And that was my blitz. So I have 2 players left to move. Pick up. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Should have passed, but okay. And let's change this to face the correct direction. Done.
3. He gets up. He gets up. Remove him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Block. Ball.
Fan.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Jump up.
It does.
Dodge. 2, 3, 4, 5,
Dodge.
6. Rush. And another rush. Blitz.
Dodge.
Dodge. 2, 3 to blitz. No, bounce. 2 goes here. 4, 5.
Pick up on the 4. Picked up.
6.
Okay.
5, 6, sorry. Rush. No, just stay here. That's it. Ah, no, my troll. It's gonna block. Guy in front of him. I will reroll that.
We will try to reroll that.
No, there is it.
I have a prone marker.
Oh,
if you
okay.
prefer.
He's
I think it depends on your definition of fine.
on
so 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 here. Need to rush. She can get up. Blitz. 3, 4 to blitz. The goblin.
Ooh,
Let's use a reroll.
most interesting. My liege.
It is.
Oh, you got 2 of them. I like this.
Let's see if I like this one. On the goblin. Nope.
I like this. So, these are the dice from my friend Principatius.
And as I've told you last time, with my goblins, it's been a long time since you've met him, so they've long lost that charge.
Let's see. You know what he does for a living?
Yes, he buries people. But apparently not this time.
Not this time. Turn 4. So,
Even the Principatius dies, cannot save you.
Tron to get up. Tron gets up. This guy to block. Pow.
Fend.
Bring it there.
Still
No.
fine.
4, 5. I can't, oh. I can't. Not take some start player on start player action.
You can't. I have dodge. And block.
At least I push you back.
Yes, at least you push her back.
Blitz. 1, 2 to blitz.
Pow.
Stand firm, I'm guessing.
Yes, obviously. Still there.
One, two, three. Fours. 4, 5, 6. This guy is stunned.
He's facing down.
1, 2, 3, 4. Block that knight.
1 die.
Oh, sorry. 4. You're right. Apologies. I will do it anyway because I declared it.
It's okay if you want to change it. No stand
Pull me
firm.
there.
You can follow if you want.
No. He's gonna block him for 1 die. 4, 5, 3, 4.
Yes.
Oh, 2 dice. I mean.
2 dice.
Because he won't have it.
Yes, he's
I will brawler that.
There will stand firm.
So then he's left. On your bodyguard.
1, no 2 dice.
Take him down.
Stand firm.
Your turn.
Turn 5. Bodyguard gets up. Bodyguard gets up. She gets up. Go for it. Blitz. 1, 2, 3, 4 to blitz. Push, no follow. 5, 6. Block with the ogre.
On. Okay.
Wrong to dice. No,
Bone hand.
correct dice. Okay. The dice.
Yeah.
Stand firm.
Yeah.
Okay. with mighty. Stun. Okay. 6. Blitz. No, blitz I blitz. Block on him.
One die. Ah, no,
Two
two,
dice.
there's the guard. Like
There's the Ogre guard and the other guard.
Which one's
Might
wrong?
as well. Push, stand firm.
Mr. Oberwald. And this guy hasn't acted, right?
Want to sprint. Dodge out. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Go for it. He has sprint as well. So
And sure feet.
Sure feet. Not going to help much if I do another one. Okay. Look. One die. Okay.
5. Yes. That's up. Throw to move. 1, 2, 3, 4. Block. Your thrower turns round.
And
Hey, finally. Now I have the competition for our friend Principatius and this our friend Jesus.
Superstition will get you nowhere. As I said.
Oh.
Nowhere.
So, Black Orc. Okay, I guess you stand firm. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Blitz.
Dodge out. Fail.
No skill.
Still a fail. What will the little goblin do?
Over.
Indeed. What will the little goblin do? Stun.
It's just
It's fine. It's fine. So, my turn 6. He will get up. 4, 5,
Dodge.
3. Oh no, that's still there. No, that can be. That can be. I forgot. I thought it got up here. So, this should be obvious now. So, block. Roll 2 dice. Pop. And we will follow.
okay. Facing the other way.
Yes. Over.
Stun.
Block. Yes, block, right. Right. Dice.
Push.
There. And I will dice. Let's see what the crowd has to say about this.
He's
Badly hurt.
badly hurt.
So ball was last year. Shall you be the crowd?
Yes. I want to. Right?
1-2 is there.
Okay, so straight ahead. 8 boxes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Scatter. 6. 6
One
is 1. No, 6 is here. That's
Ah,
it.
sorry.
Okay. So
He's ready, the thrower?
no, he
Ah,
blitzed.
he can move. You're right.
So that was 3-4 to blitz. Not much to do. 5-6. No, 5-6 this way. That's better.
Okay.
And it was like that. I'm guessing we can take a block here. Roll 2 dice. Paul, stands fair.
Yes.
Armor. No. Ogre wants to move. 1, 2, 3, 4. There. And let's go with Griff. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Look up on a 3. Because of green green. His once per game ability, we roll them on a die.
Yes.
So that was 4, 5,
6.
no,
4.
4, 5, 6. This guy is here, no? So 4, 5, 6, 7. So 4, 5, 6, 7.
7.
Rush
Okay. Dodge.
and dodge, yes. Rush. And rush. Feeling the pressure, Griff. Wants to make it work.
Okay.
I have moved everyone. Griff should be facing my way. Is it going to be another one of those where Griff does all the work?
Probably. That's what he's there for.
Yes.
So 1, 2, 3, 4.
Mm-hmm.
He stands him up. Ah, he was done. Okay.
Just facing the right way, that's it.
Well, Griff, Blitz, Varag, Blitz,
Mm-hmm. Dodge.
3 plus,
Successful.
2, 3, 4, 5 to Blitz.
Mm-hmm.
Block,
On.
1 die. On Griff, obviously.
4, 5, 4, 5, yes. Push.
In there, follow.
Mm-hmm.
Troll's gonna move.
I'm going to switch these goblins face up for you. That's already fell. Was it his stand as well?
Yes, he's the reports now. He's 2.
Oh, turn is stupid. Interesting.
Your turn.
My 37. Okay.
dice with that.
This?
No, 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 no. Him, because he's facing me. No, no.
No.
I dodged from next to him, so.
So yes, doesn't stand up. No. So I use the once per game, get a free roll.
But very good, no?
A very, very good point to use, I think, as well. No. Okay. Blitz with Griff. On Varag. So 4, 5, 6 against 5. Push, good enough. Follow. Dodge out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go for it. 7. Am I calculating this right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Go for it, right. And you should be facing your direction. Let's rush. Reroll it.
Ooh, the last one, I'm not leaving one for turn 8. Oh!
The game telling me I shouldn't have rolled any of my
Yes, and you
reroll.
did count his. You didn't count 1, 2, 3, 4, go for it to blitz.
That's very true. I didn't count his. Very
Turn
true.
7.
So let's see if Griff meets the fans.
Let's see. I think it should. Can you set them up and get them in storing range? Yeah, should be good.
Without rush.
Now, let's see. Blitz. Dodge number 4. 2, 3, 4. Rush.
Rush to blitz.
Rush to blitz.
1 die.
1 die.
And push.
Oh.
Griff is out.
Goodbye, Griff. Oberwald. Injury. Let's see if Principatius is a fan. And how much he likes star players. Princi!
He
Morto!
They have good apothecaries. He will be back.
Let's see what Princi does to him. Just badly. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yes.
This way, 2 by 6.
Is this going to end up as a game between the fans? 10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Get on 2 again. Not straight. 2 by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Scatter. Bounce actually.
4.
4 goes there. Okay, now. Troll is gonna vomit.
Okay.
Stupid.
Vomit.
Vomit.
Armor.
He's gonna vomit on the ogre. Let's see if Jesus likes to vomit. And Jesus says stunned.
Jesus says no. I
No.
don't like vomit.
Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Go. Rush. Launch.
Needs 2 more squares.
Okay, Varag is gonna block your thrower. Go down. Over without mighty. It's Principatius' turn. Principatius says stun. Okay. We have these 2 left. I'm gonna block. No, I'm fine like this. Turn.
Okay.
Your turn 8.
My turn 8. And let's go with, where is the Ogre is going to stand up. He is.
Covered in vomit.
Covered in vomit. Wait, no, he was stunned.
Yes, you're right.
Not prone. I put this
Or else
the
you
wrong way.
wouldn't have gone down.
Exactly. So 4, 5, 6. Block on him. Pop.
Mouse and fair.
So this was him. And he will be facing this way. Armor. Over. KO. Blitz. 1, 2, 3, 4 to blitz. That's 3, 4. This is stupid. I can do this and go to 5. But I declared it, let's do it. I should be more careful. Push. We will follow. 4 to blitz, 5, 6. And he goes there. Block on the goblin. Go down, wrestle. Pass. 4, 5, 6.
Pick up.
Pick up on a 4 plus. And pass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That way.
So it's a long pass.
So it's on 5 plus.
3, 4, 5. No, it's wildly inaccurate.
Reroll with the pass skill.
Okay. No,
It's
wildly
inaccurate.
It's 1 less.
It has to be. It has to go down to 1 to be wildly inaccurate.
Because you're 4 minus 1, 3
I'm
minus
3.
1, 2. You got
I got
a
a 4, so minus 1, 3 minus 1, 2, exactly.
I'll have it here.
I think so. Don't have the modifiers. Nope, we don't have the modifiers.
Page 48.
I have the page number, yes. So, minus 2, and wildly inaccurate is the dice roll equal to 1 after modifiers.
After modifier.
So it's an inaccurate pass.
So it just bounces once, right?
No, scatters 3 times.
Ah, you're right, like it used to.
Yes. First one, 2. Second one, 8. Third one, 2. And now it bounces. 2.
The drop now is what they're saying.
But can he
pages.
Just.
Or it needs to cover the whole box.
I think. Wait, we have. No, we have.
Ah, they did
So page 48. And we can actually measure. It's 13 by 3 the maximum. And then it's 12 by 5.
No, it doesn't. So the troll. The troll needs to do this.
The troll.
Oh no.
Okay.
Well, I don't have any option, I think.
Want to do something before you try it? Impossible?
That's what I'm saying. No, but I don't think I want to. You finished it, right? No?
No, it's a turn over. No one caught the ball.
No, I mean turn 8.
Yes, that was my turn 8.
So I declare pass action. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rush.
Rush. Yes.
Pick up on a 5.
On a 5.
It's raining.
And he's a Black Orc. Picks up.
Pass on a 6. I'm assuming.
Actually.
Reroll.
Using your reroll.
No.
Found it.
Found this one.
No, I don't even get to attempt an interception.
No, you don't.
5.
Good game.
Well done.
It was fun. It was interesting. I think we're gonna go to
Sleep.
yes, but we can say goodbye to everyone. We can move on back in place. We can stay here. Alright, so we can. Very interesting as per the match per se. I think the mistake with Griff cost you the game
Yes.
because otherwise there wasn't an issue. The issue with me picking 6 stand firms meant we had 10 stand firms in the whole game, which
Plus defend.
plus a fend.
Actually, 2 fends.
Two fends, which makes my grab play a bit more difficult with the stand firms and the fends. This is not the team to try this roster out against. But I think it's interesting enough. I like the new rules. The prayers to Nuffle added a bit of spice, but not game changing. Projectile vomit
Was interesting, yes.
I think is really, really good, and you need to be very careful on who you're going to be placing next to the troll. There's no more tagging him with a useless player.
Because they can just projectile vomit.
Yeah, it's the 2+, so it's not that unlikely. With regards to star players, I don't know. Varag is good because you have a strength 5 there as well on the pitch, but he lacks something, I think. He lacks the movement, the agility that Griff gives him.
But I think this is the big weakness of the Black Orc team. The big weakness of the Black Orc team is they play similar to what the Linemen do. They actually do it better, with one exception, they don't move.
Exactly.
So probably you should have been trying a few more throw teammates.
Could be. But I felt, because of Varag, I had one less goblin on the pitch.
Yes.
So, yeah, and when the first one got sent off, then I'm like, I need to be more careful.
So maybe Varag is definitely not okay with the Black Orc team as is.
No. I think there is other star players which I don't know what orcs get, but I'm sure there was other stuff.
He's an interesting star player, he's very tough, but
Strength 5 blitzer would jump on it basically. Anyway, I think that's a very good stream for today. Very big thanks to Andrew, and a massive thank you to our local chaos coach Johan for hosting us and being our technical hands and setting up the stream and all the setup that you can see. Thanks a lot. Hope we can meet again on the pitch soon.
yes. And we will try and do another one with maybe a few teams which we think have changed drastically. Wood elves.
Oh, what else? Necromantic though.
shall we switch to the player role here?
I'm definitely going for necromantic, but I need to get them painted and assembled, so it's gonna take a while. But we'll schedule another match and we'll be able to take it up from there.
Indeed. Thank you very much for joining us
Good
and have a
evening.
good night.
Good night.